29th at 4:05. I'm gonna call this, meeting to order. I know we've had several different approval of minutes to look over, and we've all signed off on them. And so there wasn't a quorum for the last one, is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Have we got an approval of the agenda? Do we need to add anything else to it, to the new business?
I don't think I have anything. Christmas parade, they wanted to know when we're gonna have the Christmas parade, and I wanted to talk to y'all and make sure we are gonna have it. Teresa said we normally have it the second Saturday in December.
Okay. All right, we'll add that to it then.
And whether y'all want to have like a Christmas bazaar. I know in years past, sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't.
Okay. So just add that one to the new business.
I make a motion to approve the agenda with those amendments of the Christmas parade and bazaar.
Becky Ward would like to join the meeting.
Becky Ward is gonna join us by phone. That's your
No, that's okay. I second that too. Can you hear us, Becky?
I can.
Okay.
Hey, Becky.
Hello.
I know you probably don't have a copy of the, financial report, but Sonia's gonna take over and give us an update on all that.
Alright.
Okay, so the first thing the board wanna do, even though there is no one here, we should open it for public hearing for, in case any public has any comments, or I'll just write there was no public that showed up for your budget. If anybody has any comments, I'll just write down that there was no public that showed up, just for our records. So we have the audit contract that we received for the auditors, that was $4,850, that I'll include in your budget, and the board will need to vote on that, and then Debbie will sign it. Your audit, your year's getting ready to end tomorrow, and your new year will start July 1st, that's the way our fiscal year runs. And the North Carolina Treasurer requires that you have an outside service come in and prepare an audit. So it's a required expense, but the board does have to vote. It's for the same company that did your audit last year, Ray Bumgarner, for $4,850.
And this is for the next fiscal year.
This is for, they'll be here in 2 weeks for your previous fiscal year,
Okay,
but
gotcha. So it'll come out of last year's budget. I guess I'm trying to figure out.
no, we pay it the next year. We'll pay it in the new budget because she prepares it in the new year. But it'll be for,
Background noise somewhere.
Becky?
Yeah, it might be me because I'm in my car driving and I've got you on. Let me take you off my Bluetooth.
Okay, it's roaring, so.
Oh, okay, sorry about that. Is that
Thank you.
better?
That is better, thank you.
Okay.
so did any board members wanna make a motion to approve this audit contract with Ray Bumgarner?
I make a motion, we approve the contract for Ray Bumgarner.
I'll second it.
And can you make a motion to talk about this at our next regular meeting?
Okay, to talk about the audit.
Just, yeah, audit procedures and what we have to do. Okay.
I know we tried to get somebody else to do it at one time and nobody else even put a bid on it.
We did RFPs for our audit last year, which included, both RTA and the town, and we received one, even though I sent it out to about 8 locations and publicized, we only received one, proposal to do this audit, but we do wanna keep it fair and let anybody present that proposal. Okay, so now your second thing is your budget. I gave you your budget in front of you, and that has set out for the required 10 days, and we've had nobody show up and make a comment during that time or today. So your budget is gonna be 50,000 occupancy tax and 50,000 expense. So what we wanna do, since your deadline is tomorrow, is for the board to vote on and approve this budget.
I make a motion to approve the, budget for the 2021-22 fiscal year.
Second.
I'll second it.
I'm gonna take Rachel's since I already have Rachel. Now, the next thing you have is your budget amendment. So we're still, have 2 more days for this year. And to keep us on track, we're gonna ask the board to approve budget amendment number 2. And this is going to take money out of the occupancy tax revenue that you've already received this year and budget, money for that car show, $5,000. Budget amendment number 2, $5,000 does not, take away from your fund balance because you have already received in the month of May $24,406 more than what you budgeted.
We've spent this, right? Right,
Mm.
we spent it.
Did we
You
spend all
spent
5,000?
almost, you haven't spent it all, but that was the dollar amount that, you had designated for her, so I just took that in case anything else comes up. But I think we've caught all the expenses, but that was, the, actual expense for the car show was $3,949.62. So, I went ahead and did a full 5,000 just to keep things clean, cause I don't want them to go over budget.
Right. I make a motion we approve the budget amendment number 2 for the car show.
Second.
Unanimous.
I'll second that, Teresa.
I know, I'm voted to spend money.
And then the final thing I have for you is your budget versus actual, May of 2021. You have brought in, like I said, $24,406 more than what we budgeted. And you have also brought in $28,642 more than what we have spent. So you had very good, almost good year. We got one more month that I'll bring to you, so we'll have, final numbers. But of course, we haven't finished this month, so I don't have those numbers yet. But your revenue and your expenses all looked real good this year. Hey, I did make a couple of notes, cause I know some of you are new. So I had mentioned before that your year end is 6/30/2021, so now you're gonna start fresh with a brand new budget. I wanted y'all to know that you're an extension of, the town of Robbinsville, which is a municipality, which is regulated by the North Carolina Treasurer. So we do have guidelines to follow. The way that you receive your income is from occupancy tax. That's when anyone spends the night within our 3.25-mile radius of the town of Robbinsville. You receive 3% of all the dollars that the local hotels receive. So that's how you're making your revenue. And then the idea for the tourism, RTA, Robbinsville Tourism, is that your purpose is to promote tourism, so you can increase that dollar amount. So you take the tax that you receive with the hope to increase that tax. And I would have to say, by COVID or whatever, y'all had a really good year. This is the highest we've seen occupancy tax in the last 3 years. All right, so I'll be giving these things for Debbie to sign later, but thank you for your time.
Can I ask one quick question?
Yes.
So whatever's carried over from this budget will go?
No, your brand new budget.
No,
So this,
I guess I'm, okay.
oh,
So does,
for your fund balance, that's right.
right,
Anything
so
left
where's
over?
it gonna be? Where will I look for it next time?
Well, right now I've been telling you what your expenses are and what your revenue is. And for a while, I added on the report, the fund balance. I could add that line down here at the bottom if you'd like, so you can keep seeing how your savings account's doing.
That would be great.
Your cash balance right now is around $110,000, so you were averaging $50,000 2 years ago. So now you average around $100,000 in your checking account. You have to only keep in that, in that fund balance, your obligated things, like, for example, you have obligated to pay her a salary. So if you kept her on, you would wanna keep enough money to at least pay her for a year, in case something bad did happen. You'd also wanna keep in your audit amount, your insurance amount, but other than that, there's no reason you can't spend the rest of that money, which for you is just about $75,000.
Yeah.
If you want
I
to-
wouldn't be spending.
If you want
Hush,
to,
Dirk, to make sure that we have enough in reserve to do it here. so-
Right.
you got
Yeah.
enough reserve to fit your
why.
budget. So, you know, if you saw something, oh, we know this would promote towards, like a brand new website or something like
Right.
that. I think it would be wonderful to spend the money instead of have it sit, you
And
know?
we finally have enough money to do something
could do something
big.
big. Mhm.
Right, so that's good.
Yeah.
That took a while.
You've seen that since the
Since
zero.
2012, since zero, yeah. Since negative numbers.
Oh, well, it looks good to me. You know, the town has to keep such a higher reserve because we have like debt or we have other reasons,
Right.
you know, with the water sewer or with our general fund. So you don't have the same, obligations to
Right.
keep that much. But we don't want to come on, we can't give her a check. Not always be able to.
No.
So thank you for working.
Well, we do have the money to be able to do the 150-year thing next year, so that, you know, we can really look at some way of promoting that
Right.
toward tourism.
That's true, and I've been at several of the meetings where they're trying to put together and they're looking for an events coordinator and such, so our events we can expand on, I think, and that will be good, cause they're trying to make it a year long with every event being, and they're gonna add some things, so I'm excited about the 150-year celebration.
So our old business was John Colwell.
Did we?
You didn't, you approved the budget. No.
Okay.
Last time.
The April 27th and May the 11th.
Make a motion to approve the minutes for April 27th.
I said, okay.
And then I make a motion to approve the minutes for the May the 11th special meeting.
Second it.
Okay.
Thank you, Teresa.
So since John's not here, we're just gonna keep rolling right along with old business.
Do you want, that's been tabled, do you want to discuss it or no?
That was about,
Is it $10,000 for the mural and the music festival? This mural up here,
It's already paid for.
that one down there, is paid for, so.
Are you talking about the Ronnie Millsaps mural? It's
Uh-huh.
paid for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we've already motioned and had that money taking care of that,
The town of Robbinsville did
yeah.
that.
Okay, and the other mural is where?
Down on Main Street, right before you get to the church mouse, have you seen that?
Oh, that new one. Looks really
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah.
The Beloved of Snowbird. It's, event that's gonna be July 31st.
And how much was that one?
I'm not sure, it was done by Great, it was in a collaboration by Great.
Was it paid for by the town of Robbinsville as well?
No.
By y'all, by you guys?
It was grant funded, if I'm not mistaken.
Grant funded?
Uh-huh.
Thank
We
you.
we
We
did,
gave money
we
toward
gave
it.
money for the
Yeah, we
walkway, the walkway in front of it.
Okay.
The platform.
We funded that.
Okay. Thank you guys.
That was before they got me, sorry about that.
That's
No worries.
okay. That's why I'm on here, I'm old, and
You remember these
some of this
things.
stuff.
So just leave it tabled, or do you wanna vote on it? I have,
What'd he say?
What? Dirk?
I believe I'm leaving table if he's not there to talk about it.
Well, he's been here, he came to the last meeting when we didn't have a quorum. But, yeah, I think tabled is probably the best decision.
Well, I think he was needing to know so that, cause he was gonna try to get a grant, he was saying that he was gonna get a grant regardless of whether
There is-
we gave money or not.
there is a
The way I
grant
take it.
writer working with Rev'd Up, and she has said there are some monies available, so you are correct in that, Miss. That is my understanding.
I agree with leaving it tabled until he's here. Becky, do you have any comments?
No, I think that we keep tabling it, and I've seen some of the reviews on the Ronnie Millsap one, which I really, really like, but I've seen some of like the community's input on it, and it just, I don't know, I think that we should vote on it sooner than later, like, I wouldn't table it after the next meeting. But that's just my personal opinion, and I'm only one person. So,
Well, and I expressed last time that I had some questions that I wanted answered before I would vote yes. So if we voted today, I would vote no.
yeah, and I would vote no too, because like one of the comments on the side of the extension with the Ronnie Millsap one, whenever somebody had brought up the one on Main Street, and I have it screenshotted on my phone, cause I was reading the comments and reviews, they asked who owned that property on the big one. So, I mean, people in the community are, like, they're putting that stuff on Facebook and they want to know, well, who owns these buildings, who's funding them, how much is it costing?
I will say that I asked these questions about the women's mural down there, and I can only tell you, at that time, I don't know if anything has changed, but at that time, I think the building was owned by the town at that time.
Still
It
is.
still is, okay. And even then, it was being, at that rate point too, it was being used by a nonprofit. So a nonprofit would be a legitimate group too. So I did ask those questions at that time, and it was, I felt like a appropriate expenditure.
No, they're not talking about that building, they're talking about, because everybody knows that the new one's gonna go up at, is it Mr. Lovelace's building? And I'm not familiar with who owns all these
Oh,
buildings.
you're not talking
just
about the
saying,
snowbird
like,
one.
everybody talks great about like the, Indian mural and the Ronnie Millsaps one, but, I mean, you could just go on there and read all the comments on that post, like, it's crazy, people were either for it or against it, but I mean, you're gonna have that anywhere you go.
True. Alright, I haven't looked at it.
No, me neither.
Well, if I was voting today, I'd vote no, so it's better for him if we don't vote today.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're gonna leave it on the table as you suggested. So now we're gonna move to the car show, Karen.
I felt like it went well, I guess I wanted input from y'all. We had positive input from the community too. I learned from it, being my first car show, it was a good learning experience.
It done good, in my opinion, bigger turnout than what I thought.
I was surprised and I
I'm
was
already having
pleased.
them come down to the shop and asking when they're gonna do
When
another
we're
one.
gonna do another one. I think it should be an annual car show unless y'all wanna do one in spring and one in the fall. But I think it would be something we would consider making it an annual car show. And like I say, I learned from what I did, so I can build on what we did too.
Well, I thought it went really well. I thought whoever did great at it. I was just glad to be there. So, I'm a fan of it.
I'm a fan
I
of
thought it was
too.
good. My only complaint is I didn't get enough fifties music and I already told you.
No, he didn't play a whole lot
Not a lot
of
of 50s
but
music.
I have to say that the music he did play
was
was
good.
very
He
good.
done a good job.
He
He
done a
did.
great job.
I'm just,
Mhm.
I didn't get a lot of fifties music.
I'm
And
looking
we-
forward to the next one,
Yeah,
whether
me
it's,
too.
you know, an annual or in October, I'm looking forward to it.
And we need a bubble machine. I went to the one in Andrews and they had a bubble machine coming
That thing
out
went
their
solid.
music card. It was like, we didn't have bubbles.
So that was a popular thing.
Well, it was for me. I was. I mean, I love the cars and trucks, but I was checking out to see what they have. But they did not have a bouncy house, so we had a bouncy house for the children. But I'm learning as I go to different ones.
But see, that was about their fifth or sixth or more, and we had just as many show up as was over there.
I felt like so, and they didn't have vendors, and I felt like we have vendors, which gives the vendors an opportunity to make money. I've always said where there's people, you need vendors, so. I thought all in all for the first show, we did well.
I thought it went well too.
I did have people say that it wasn't advertised enough.
And I did have, some of
And-
the car show people said you need signs over at 28, you need signs pointing, toward the school. I had the event signs, and I told them I felt like we were doing good to get that one big banner if they wanted to donate to the cause. But I have found out too that a huge banner, white with black letters, is more visible. The color, the turquoise and red just wasn't that visible,
Didn't
but I
go
have
too good.
learned. Just, big block letters with dark letters, white banner, so.
Mhm.
It was a good learning experience, but you're right, it wasn't, well, the day of the show, they felt like we need more signs, like
Yeah.
at Topton and over on 28 pointing this way.
Yeah,
And they said they should say car show at
Yeah.
the school.
yeah. That's what they told me too.
And you need to get some volunteers,
I will get some
cause you don't
volunteers
need to
too.
be doing that day, or that, I mean, it's just too much.
I was up at 6 o'clock that morning, and that's not normal for
No,
me.
I
Well, thanks to Richard, it really did go good.
It did, did.
mean, you kinda
They
took
did.
over the cars and
That's right.
made it happen. You
Everybody,
did.
everybody I felt like really stepped in.
That
and
is
did
your
a
job
part.
from now on.
You were
I
designated.
quit.
No, you can't do
I
that.
was tired and I got home.
Can imagine.
Yep, and maybe we don't need to have it as long the next time.
That's true, that was one of the
That's
things.
what they kept coming up to me.
Uh-huh,
Yeah,
mhm.
we just didn't have enough stuff in between to kinda keep
Yeah.
it going and interesting.
Cause the one over at Ridge Top, they last a long
All day.
time, but
Mhm.
he's got so much stuff going on to keep people occupied.
Mhm.
Oh, and they had
They did the
burnouts and all
burnouts
kinds of,
They raced over there this year,
did they?
because it's at the old airport,
Oh, really?
so they just turned them loose.
Uh-huh.
Well, they actually didn't race, they just run one at a time.
Right.
That kept everybody occupied for
Hours.
hours, cause it was
Mhm.
tickling them to death to watch them run.
I bet it was.
And then he had music
Mhm.
for, system,
Mhm.
where they pull up and say who's got the best pump
Oh,
box in their
oh,
car,
mhm.
and done all that.
And I guess maybe the car show's an event that needs its own committee to help or give ideas or to, you know, cause I'm willing to volunteer, but I know nothing about
Mhm.
cars, car shows. I can do registration, but maybe you need a group.
True.
Put together a car show.
Well, I love working with the kids. I did.
I'm sure there was wonderful input.
I enjoyed it thoroughly.
And I can sit and do registration again, unless I was surly though.
You need at least one helper.
Yeah.
Cause I was running around and.
So there needs to be at
circles.
least two there.
So now what you got, Miss Karen?
Let's see, the passport adventure I have worked on, and I have attended, this is the one I got made. I just don't feel like we have the right stuff to make it, and y'all may think it's just fun, but there is a grant available from the Great Smokies Health Foundation for $5,000. And I feel like it's for wellness, and I feel like it would be excellent to get us some passports, get them printed, get some t-shirts and things like that. So I'd like to ask permission to write the grant
How much is the mat? Is it
about that. Oh, there's no match.
no match?
And it's, nonprofits, government entities, and educational institutions. I talked to Angie, and she said they just have not had time to do it. But I've pretty well got everything, I just feel like the presentation could be better if we had it printed and maybe some kind of little binding besides a stapler. I've got the trails, I've got pretty much everything as far as that. The grant will not be funded until September, but that would give us probably from September until December.
To
Which
prepare for one for maybe next year then.
you will
Yeah.
look at it for next spring.
And it could be one of the events for the
Yeah.
sesquicentennial.
We couldn't,
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
okay.
Yeah, it's a little late for this year.
Mhm.
Right, the snakes are out, aren't they? Do we need a motion or,
I make a motion to give you permission to write a grant for that.
okay,
I second that.
Okay, yeah,
I didn't know if, I knew I needed permission, I didn't know if I had to make a motion or not. This is the grant application, if any of y'all want to see it. I met these people at a training session at Southwestern Community College, and she was thrilled to meet somebody from Greenville, so I felt like this would be the perfect opportunity for a wellness
What would the grant money be used for?
It's a, hiking, it's called Passport to Adventure, and we've got 20 trails here in Graham County. And it's sort of a challenge, it's a hiking challenge, it's a fitness, it's for local people and it is for tourism too. And then they can, download a passport, we'll link it to the town of Robbinsville's website and they can download it. Or they can pick one up here and I'll have them at different, like the Quality Inn and Phillips Motel and our people that pay their tax, their 3% tax. And in the county, I'll put them at Tapoka, Montana Village and stuff. So it's just a challenge, it's a health challenge, but we're using our local places to go to.
Well, it gives the tourists a chance to see Robbinsville as something other than a road.
Mm-hmm.
It gives them a chance to see the waterfalls, the trails, the azaleas, you know.
So the 5,000 will be used as like obtaining trails or like a
No,
reward
it'll help us to prepare this passport for
Mm.
everybody to use, to give them an idea of where to go.
Mm.
Because if they don't have this book before them, they don't know where these trails are.
Okay.
They normally just drive through and, you know, go
Yeah.
somewhere else. But if they have this passport, they see where Yellow Creek Falls is, Middle Creek Falls, the Hooper Ball,
Mm-hmm.
and it gives them a chance to kind of build a reputation with Robbinsville and do something other than just drive through.
And it encourages our people, our youth
It
particularly.
encourages us to get out and exercise, you know, and do the stuff that a lot of people don't realize that there's that much stuff out there to hike.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Will it pay for incentives in addition to publishing?
I feel like it will because it's a, health foundation. So I think it would pay for incentives and marketing.
Okay.
As I run it, I probably need assistance.
Sure.
But overall, I think it would supply everything we need for that event. We just got to list it, break it down, and get some prices.
Good.
Yeah, that's good.
July the 4th event is Saturday. I will have a booth, I will have Town of Robbinsville information there. I'll be helping if they need anything, so.
As far as I know, it starts at 11 a.m.
Well, I've seen some different time frames. I've seen, the event will open Saturday, July 3rd at 9 a.m. on Main Street.
That's for vendors. Well, I don't know, maybe not.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay.
And then fireworks will be 10 p.m. that night. So it's going to go all day long with music and.
Just
dinners.
give me, you know, a time that you need a break and I'll come and sit with you or do whatever, or I'll relieve you and you can go and take your break, 'cause being there all day would tend to wear on you. So-
Whenever you wanna happen along, I'll take a break.
Okay, I don't care a bit too.
I appreciate that. But I think it's gonna be a nice event. I'm looking forward to having events.
Me too.
So it starts Saturday at 9 or at 11?
11, I think.
At 9
Vendors
is
are here
vendor.
at 9,
Vendor.
yeah.
Or set up.
Darn, we didn't have that last meeting. I could be wrong about that, cause it was one day they might have started at 9. I'm used to starting at 11.
And the fireworks are for sure gonna be set off at 10 o'clock.
It says at 10 p.m. unless this is changed. And there are, if you know anybody that would like to, set up, do a booth, this is all the information and such that. And we have these here at Town Hall if somebody wants them, or I can email them.
Okay.
We really want people to come out and support the vendors. You can say that, you can say
Yeah.
that for sure. My phone isn't working, I can't even talk.
Now moving to our new business, fishing derby. What
I
have you got?
talked to the Wildlife Commission, they said up until about September that they could help us with the fishing derby. They did not know, early in the season, we didn't do it because they couldn't come out then. But, she said that up until about September, they could do the event. I don't know if Lamar has fish or not. Lamar Williams is who we usually get fish from. I've not talked to him about buying fish, but,
What are y'all's thoughts on it? Are you guys wanting to try to get the fishing derby going?
I have all the t-shirts that I bought last year for it, so we don't have a big expense on it happening. Y'all bought all those t-shirts last spring.
So fishing, the North Carolina Fish and Wildlife don't do the stocking, somebody else does.
They bring some, but we also, it's my understanding, purchase some.
Okay.
Bigger ones. We purchased bigger ones.
Well, I'm all for it, if it's a way to work it out to do it, I think it's a good activity for kids.
That's what he had posted.
My kids are outgrown the fishing derby,
yeah.
but they
Oh, yeah.
absolutely
Yeah.
loved it when they were young enough to do it.
I haven't got to do one, but I'm told, everybody I've talked to about it says that the children love it.
Well, I know that
Yeah.
other than just the t-shirts, we got the expense of the food, because we always feed them. And then we had the expense of the biggest fish caught, different age groups, and then there was one year where we had a lot of prizes donated, where that pretty much every kid that was there got a prize.
Pretty much every kid gets a t-shirt.
Every kid gets a t-shirt, but then, so, if we're gonna be doing it, we kinda gotta get it going. Between now and
That's
September.
even a question, how long does it take to plan it up and publicize it and get it done? I've never, of course, been around that.
The easiest and the way we publicize it in the past is we print 600 half-page flyers or whatever, and we take them down and put 25 in each teacher's box at school, and the teachers send them out, and that's how everybody finds out about it. So that probably takes a couple of days to see to. And then, ordering, really you have to go to Sam's a day, and then you have to get, if you want door prizes, you have to get door prizes, or buy door prizes, or whatever.
What do you get at Sam's? Food?
Food. Cause we normally feed them, what, a hot dog? Hot
Hot
dog and
dog,
chips?
bag of chips,
Yeah.
and drink.
I can't remember.
I don't even know if we do dessert. Do we do dessert? I can't
Usually we
remember.
threw a DB cake in there,
Yeah.
or a pack of cookies or something.
Now, yeah, and it'll have to be something like that with COVID. I mean, maybe with COVID, it might be, we have to do
Right.
something different.
I know we talked about having just so many come in at a certain time, but, I mean, here it is July, and if we're gonna be doing it by September, we've really gotta come up with how we wanna work it.
We talked about having a lottery when Taco and I talked about it, but I'm wondering, are the teachers in school? When are they coming back to school?
That'll be second week of August.
So that's another month and a half. Should we wait and try to do it in the spring?
That was always the thing. I mean, we haven't done it in 2 Aprils, right?
Right.
So it's been, like, this will be the 3rd year. So it's up to you. I just mentioned it so.
Well,
we
I
could-
think if they're willing to help us between now and September, maybe we need to roll with it.
Oh, well, I'm game if y'all are, and if you think we can do
But
it.
if yins think they'll help us still in April too, then I don't care to wait until April, but it would be a good thing to do for the kids.
And in my mind, I'm thinking of both times, like do September this year and April in 2022.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Is what I'm thinking, but,
I like the way you're starting to think big, Teresa.
yeah. The fishing derby, if you've never been, it is hard to say no to,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
cause it is a fun day.
It is very fun.
Do you have a date that you want, what date do they normally have it on, Saturday?
Yeah,
Okay.
we start on a Saturday morning at about 9:30.
It used to be the same day in April as the Ramp Festival, the last Saturday in April, okay?
Uh-huh.
So, cause we were doing sort of
Tying it into that.
yeah, tying with that. So September's probably an open book. The day I wouldn't do it is the last Saturday in September because that's Mountain Heritage Day at Western. I don't know how many people go. Maybe it's not even important.
And then you've got Labor Day on the first of September, so do Labor Day or don't do Labor Day? Don't do Labor Day.
Don't do Labor Day. Yeah, a lot of people go to the beach then.
Plus, you gotta have people guard the fish.
Yeah.
Somebody has to camp out that night.
Yeah.
Let's go for that second Saturday of September then. What date would that be?
Is that calendar
I
this
don't
year?
think it's new. No, it's 2018.
Whoa, let me grab my phone.
How much does the fish usually cost? Or do y'all guys know?
No, I don't know.
Most times it's about a pound.
Yeah, it's by the pound, and so
Okay.
we have to figure out how much we can get from the.
Wildlife service?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the Wildlife Commission, did they come in and set up the tanks?
They
No.
do.
No.
They don't?
No, the town does that, I think. The town set up the tanks. I'm pretty sure.
Maybe they do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, 'cause I remember Colin talking about
Having to set
pumping
it
the
up.
water into it and
They
everything.
really just bring the fish, but a new addition is the Forest Service initially, it said they wanted to help,
Right.
so.
We'll see what they'll do to help.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be September the 11th. Dirk, you got anything planned for that weekend?
Festivals Committee has a festival planned September the 11th.
Okay.
So should we go the 18th?
Well, would it really be a big conflict with them, or would it complement it?
I think it would complement it because it would get people out and we could, use that to make people aware that there is a festival.
And really, it's always over by noon. I mean,
Yeah.
really, yeah.
Where do you usually have it? I mean, how does it usually work?
Well, okay, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
It's behind, Stanley, like you go up, Cody Street, you know where that is. And you go to the end of Cody
Should.
Street, and, it's like right between kind of the ball field and the creek, and we set up in there, and they register and have food. Then at a certain time, they get to go fish.
Yeah.
But really, we do have prize fish, but they're rarely caught.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, I've never seen one caught yet, I don't think. Anyway, and then they go fish. They fish for a certain amount of time, like, let's say, in 2 hours or something. And then they bring their catch in and everybody sees if they've got the prize fish. And then they have lunch, and then they go on their way. But we have tanks set up too for the little kids. And you talk about having fun. There's nothing like a 2-year-old catching a fish. So it's kinda like that. It's fun. You'll love it.
Yeah, that would be fun. So that September 11th, who knows what's happening then, but right now I don't have anything planned then.
I don't either, I mean, I just know that.
It's over by noon, I'm sure
don't
the
plan
event, their
tomorrow.
event probably would still be going on, wouldn't it?
It may not even be until afternoon, I don't know.
I don't either. Let's just say the 11th right now, we have
Okay.
time to change it if we do.
Right, because I'll be communicating with Wildlife
Right.
Commission or,
And taco and,
See about the tanks and all that good stuff.
right. Okay,
dedicate.
the dedication of the beloved Snowbird mural is July 31st at 4 p.m. I'd like to invite everybody to come out. I've been working with them. They'll be, they have invited the tribal council, the chief. There's gonna be an honorarium for the people that are on the mural. They'll close the streets off down there. There's gonna be light, food and refreshments. So hopefully it's going to be a nice event. They're working real hard to make it come together.
That'll be good.
Do you have I mean, is there a tentative program or anything?
They, what's her name? Zena
Yes.
is working on
Okay.
that. I've just been down there with them, sort of partnering to, it is in town of Robbinsville, and I'd like to see it be a nice event. So we've been putting our heads together in the meetings.
And the town has to, the council's supposed to vote on road closures. Did you know that?
Did not know
Yeah.
that.
They're supposed to vote on road closures,
Okay,
so you need to get on their agenda.
okay.
Just
She
to be
does.
sure.
She does.
Steve will know for sure, but
Okay.
it's, we had to do that for, we're supposed to
The
do
trunk
it.
or treat.
And, yeah, so,
Okay.
You said there'll be a dedication to those on the wall?
Yes.
And so the September 11th festival, that's something that we're gonna tie our fishing derby into, and
it's also, isn't it 20 years since 9/11?
Not sure.
We might need to at least,
It'd be awful close to that.
yeah. If it
whether
is-
it's 20 years or not, we still need to recognize it.
Right, we need to probably
Mhm.
recognize that.
Okay, now Christmas parade.
I'm tired already.
We got a lot going on, girls
Fourth
and
of
boys.
July and the Christmas parade.
These things don't sound like they should go together.
We must plan ahead.
Well, the date and the theme is the big thing.
The date is, what Saturday is that?
You got your phone? I didn't bring my calendar in here today. I should have done that.
The second Saturday is the 11th.
December the 11th. And it's at 6 o'clock.
Typically, you can do whatever, whatever.
That works well for all the people.
I think so too.
I reckon.
And the theme is,
What was it you
We
wanted
did
last year?
music last year, didn't we?
We done
music?
Christmas carols or
Mhm.
something?
I wanna do Christmas movies sometime, but maybe this is not the year.
I think
for
it would be a
Christmas
good one.
movies. Hey,
oh, it is, I mean, that's.
I think
that's a good
everybody'd
thing.
probably rather have something more. Of course, that could be kinda spiritual.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing better than seeing the Scrooge or the leg lamp or something on a parade.
I was thinking didn't Brady
What's
do
his name
Christmas
with the-
vacation? Did we do Christmas movies last year?
John
We did Christmas
Kennedy, I told
carols.
that to his
Christmas
name,
carols? Okay. 'Cause they do.
more of a Christmas vacation.
No,
Yeah,
Where he
that's what
comes-
they,
They did national.
Where he comes earning his national anthem.
mhm. They
Standing-
had that
standing
last
there in
year,
his
it was
robe,
awesome.
you know, like pumping his sewer out.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
So they had that last year, they had one last year.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to think. I'll have to go back.
We have a whole list of possible theme ideas, cause I wrote it out a long time ago.
Yeah, I'm sending that to you. Do we have to come up with a theme today, or
No,
can we just
they-
kinda think about it
Yeah, we
and come
can
up
think
with
about
that
it.
at the end of?
We can think about it. Old Mother Churches want to do the Lion Nativity scene, and they want it to correspond with the Christmas parade. So that's why they want a date, when it was, and I'm telling them we decided this meeting, so December the 11th. John want me to do a handmaid's bazaar or something before the parade, or do you want me to leave that be for the time being?
Let's leave that be for the time being, especially if you're tying in with Old Mother Church, because they're gonna be taking up the whole high school's parking lots and everything, doing their thing.
I don't think so.
They do it up at the church.
They do it around the
They
cemetery.
do it just around their cemetery?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what was that last year? Were all those different,
That was a bunch of churches
That
went
was a
together
bunch of
and did that,
churches.
I believe.
so are they, is that not what they're wanting to do? Because they were the ones that were over that, is what I thought.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
No, I don't know,
But that was great. I mean, it was good.
but with,
That may be exactly.
but with the
what
parking for the floats, it would be,
We'd have to start our
It would be
parade at a different
crazy.
place.
You couldn't run them together. No,
Okay.
no, you couldn't have those together.
no, I don't think so either.
But let's just see. I mean, you
Okay.
know, cause we
Okay,
could
we'll
start
give
the
them-
parade down there where it used to,
Mhm.
Down beside the library at that gym.
you know, if we had to, if we wanted to tie it all together.
I will communicate with Old Mother Church because Jeanette at Graham County Travel and Tourism was the one calling me about a date, and that's why she said they would like a date, so I'll communicate with the church.
Trunk or treat is not on here, is that because the school is doing it?
Well, I seen it advertised and I talked to Angie about it, and she said they were gonna do just like they had done last year. I asked her what we could do to assist, and she said get the word out, that they felt like that was safe. They're gonna bring people in from the new entrance instead of the Sweetwater entrance this year.
Okay.
And I think it's the 30th, did I see where it was October the 30th?
October 30th.
But we did do a booth last year and handed out candy over there, so.
Yeah.
So the school's taking over trunk or treat? Is that what I heard?
That's what you ordered.
Well, I don't know that necessarily that's all together, right? What if we have, the 31st is Sunday this year, right?
We have calendar issues on our end.
You really want a calendar.
You have a calendar issue. Oh, we don't know. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I mean, why could we not have trunk or treat in town and then have something at school?
Well, I hadn't thought about it.
The 31st is Sunday,
Yeah,
because
the
I'm
30th is when you do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's when their advertisement is the 30th.
I guess I'm thinking, in my head, it might be safer at the school would be my only thinking about that.
My thought was that if we did it in town, we needed to be finished before dark. Over there, they can run later. Like Bryson does, they're done before dark. And that's,
Traffic is what I was talking about, and then if they're doing it, how many would we have?
Would have a whole bunch. We don't have a lot of opportunities in Graham County for kids to have fun, so why could they not go two places in one night?
Well, they could, I just meant how many vendors or how many tables would we have, so they could do both.
I mean, that one year they done both. Didn't they? I mean, didn't we have it up here in town that first year? And then the high school also had their thing, and then last year was when she wanted to kinda tie in together and do it together.
Well, it was year before last.
The year before last.
Cause we had the
did
rain
the
and you did.
gymnasium, it was rain
And then we
and
didn't even
snow.
have it last year, so.
Well, they did the drive-through
Yeah.
over
Yeah.
at the school last year.
And that worked really well. Kinda.
Well, I'm kinda like Dirk, I kinda wanna do it uptown, if they wanna continue with their thing.
I like that idea. I think like if we did something maybe a little earlier than what the school's doing it, kids are gonna love that. I mean, they're gonna wanna go everywhere, especially since they didn't really get to do anything last year.
And we can pull in some businesses, have maybe a decorating contest or something like that for that matter, and let them go from shop to shop or business to
If we did
business.
hours 4 till 6 or 3 till 6, something like that, schools, doesn't it run later usually?
This'll be a strange year because they're driving, so I don't know, we'll find out.
Oh, so the school's just gonna do the drive-through thing again?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we definitely wanna do our own.
Mhm.
Yeah, we want the kids to get out and,
We do one uptown, cause I think we round up people that will want to participate and be out in the streets with the kids.
yeah.
Now, I do realize COVID's not gone, in fact, it's making a comeback, I hope more people will get vaccinated, but I'd like to see us plan to do it up on Main Street again.
I agree.
Okay. I'll volunteer.
Not to take away or compete with anybody, but just more opportunity.
Yeah.
Right, to add to.
Yeah, just make it bigger.
Start buying
And then
candy.
if we get rained out, they still have their thing going, see?
Right.
True, that
Yeah.
is true, they can still get it
Yeah,
right.
about rocks.
Paint rocks,
Yeah.
and give them, put them in the bag.
Have a little chocolate over.
Okay, well, we've covered a lot of seasons, a lot of, stuff.
About Easter while we're here.
Yeah.
So what day y'all thinking for this, what's it called?
The trunk or treat,
Trunk or treat, what day?
October 30th.
October the 30th, it's on a Saturday.
Saturday.
From 3 till 6.
We don't know
We'll,
what time.
we'll check and see, so
Yeah, we haven't
scratch the
decided
3
our
to
time.
6.
Yeah.
Okay, but October 30th.
Yeah.
Okay. And then a place, I'm sorry.
It's gonna be Main Street.
Main Street.
Yeah.
I wrote up 10 of these, so.
You're gonna have a busy party.
That's okay,
Can I have these?
yes. I'll pull the bunch
So when is our next meeting? July,
27th.
July 27th. Dirk, do you have anything else to, add to this?
No, I thought it was a good meeting and productive, and I apologize, I was gonna be there, but the DOT decided to meet tomorrow, so they just left their lunch today. But, we'll, just look forward to the next meeting.
Miss Becky, do you have anything else to say?
No, ma'am, I'm good.
Well, thank you guys for calling in. I'm gonna make a motion, we adjourn this meeting.
I'll second it.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure I've got you've only got one phone, right? So if I text or call that one phone that, you've been getting me on, that's gonna be the one
That's
where.
me.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what time on July the 3rd? You're gonna be down here at 9 o'clock setting up the table?
I'll set up.
Okay, all right, I'll get